Hey, it's Elle. Today we're going to do the Booktuber Newbie tag. I'm not doing this as my first video, mainly because I wanted to talk about my goals. I figure maybe you want to get to know me. I haven't watched someone do this tag in forever, so I don't remember any of the questions. So let's see how I answer them. I'm not able to find the original creator of this. Whenever I look up someone, it just says Brenda C, but I wasn't able to find this. If I am, I will link it into the description, but if not, sorry about it. Okay, first question, why did you start this channel? So I started this channel basically because my partner finally convinced me to. And I think the reason he finally convinced me to was because he was annoyed with me talking at him about books that he will never read and doesn't really care about. So he would sit there like a good partner, and I would be ranting about a book or telling him this really good book that I read, and I would be telling him all my thoughts and whatnot, and he always would just sit there and nod along and pretend he cared, which was very nice of him. But I think he was done with that. So he's like, why don't you talk to a camera about your ideas? And I'm like, all right, let's do that. Okay, the next question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? I don't really know, guys. I'm kind of just figuring this out as I go. I think that my reading taste is maybe not eclectic. I'm an omnivore. I read everything, really. I read romance, I read high fantasy, I read literary fiction, I read things from big presses, I read things from small presses. So it's kind of all over the place. I have tastes, definitely. I'm a big mood reader. So, I mean, if you want to hear about a wide array of books, I guess this is a good place to go. I know there's some people who already do that, but, you know, you can never have enough, right? Subscribe. I'm just watching Cindy's right now because that was the one I could find. And she's just like, it's kind of weird to ask newbies to bring something new to BookTube, and I agree with that statement. It is a little weird. I don't know what I'm going to bring. I feel like this channel is going to evolve as all of them do, and right now, you know, I'm just trying to figure out my camera and like making my microphone work and trying not to be blurry. So those are my goals right now, and that we'll see where my uniqueness goes, guys. Okay, what are you most excited about for this new channel? Honestly, I'm kind of excited to just have people to talk to about books because not many people in my life do read. Both my parents I got into reading in the last few years, and my mom and I have some crossover in types of books we read, but not a bunch. My dad mainly reads like nonfiction about World War I, so we don't really have any crossover. My best friend reads a little bit, but she mainly just gets recommendations from me. So I'm looking for bookish friends, guys. I don't have those, so if you want to be my friend, great. Not really. You could just like comment. That would be cool. If people just wanted to comment and talk to me about books, like that's why I'm doing this. Okay, next question. Why do you love reading? Why? Why do I love reading? I mean, reading is just, that's literally my indoor hobby. I've always loved reading. I've read since I was very young. Low-key, well, I feel like this is like every booktuber, but like I used to have to go to daycare as a child, and I didn't like other children. I was so pretentious. I didn't like other children, so I would just like find corners to read in, and that's how I spent my time. Seriously. What was even the question? What am I talking about? Okay, yeah, why do I love reading? I feel like I'm like airing my dirty laundry of like what it's like to be in my head. So if this is relatable, let me know. I feel like I prefer interacting with characters than I do real people sometimes, because real people can like actually disappoint you or maybe become uninteresting. Is that rude? Oh, goodness. Dawn's coming. She always looks in and says hi to me. I don't want to be awkward. Okay. That's how awkward I am, guys. Maybe this is why. I like to read, because I can't make real friends, because I live in an apartment complex and the courtyard is right there, and someone that I know who lives near me is walking by, and I'm like, I don't want her to know that I am recording myself in my apartment, and she always looks in and waves when she goes by. It's like a thing we do. And so yeah, that's how awkward I am. I hid on the ground and turned off the video. So that didn't answer the question at all. I like reading to find other experiences. I kind of talked about this in my 2021 goals, but I like reading to experience new things. It's just one of my favorite pastimes. It's snowing right now. I live in a place with winter. I spend a lot of my time inside. Cool, cool, cool. Ooh, okay, what book or series got you into reading? I don't think there is one. I don't remember a time where I couldn't read. I don't have super early memories, but my earliest memories I was able to read, and it's really just been something I've always loved. I guess if I was gonna think of something, I was really into the Magic Treehouse series as a child. I wished that I could go into a treehouse with my brother and go explore new things. So maybe that, but I don't know. I think it was just like an inherent love. My mom ingrained it in me and I don't remember. Who knows? What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I think I'm just gonna skip this question. I don't know. It's like that question that people ask where it's like, if you could have dinner or have lunch with any person from history ever, who would it be? And I'm like, I'm just not informed enough. Like, I don't know what I would talk about. I would just be super awkward. I would feel uncomfortable, like holding you here. I have no opinions on this question. Okay, what challenges do I think will be the hardest to overcome in starting this channel? Probably motivation. I have the tendency to get into something and kind of peter out with things. I think all this technology too, I'm just like, I'm not good. This is my partner's camera. Like, he made me buy a cheap microphone. Like, I'm using outdoor light because I don't know what lighting to use. I'm having to edit stuff and I don't know if I'm good at it. I think that just overcoming all of these hurdles are going to be the hard part. I find talking about books kind of, I shouldn't say easy, because I definitely stutter over myself when I try to do this. But I have opinions. That's the way my channel is L Thinks. I think about a lot of things. I have a lot of opinions. So I don't think that sharing my opinions is going to be difficult. I think that's going to get easier as I go. But I think all the technology and all the work surrounding everything but making the video is going to be the challenge. Okay, next one. When did you start reading? I feel like I kind of already answered this, but I go through phases with it in my life. So as a child, going to daycare, I was reading all the time. In middle school, I kind of stopped a little bit. In high school, I had a few years, again, where I was reading all the time. And then in college, I stopped because I was having to read for classes and I just kept myself way too busy. I was that college kid. I was like, I'm gonna be anyway, it doesn't matter. Then I guess when I came out here, I grew up in a warm climate and now I live in a place that has winter, and I needed hobbies because I was going crazy during the winter months, and so I started reading again. And it's been great. Where do you read? Mainly on my couch. So it's in this room over there. Most of my reading that I do physically is on the couch. I'll listen to audiobooks all around the house. I also read in bed every night before I go to sleep. Pre-pandemic, I basically carried a book with me everywhere I went. In order to leave my house, I have to leave with the basics, keys, wallet, etc., whatever. And then a book and a water bottle. Like, I need those two things in order to not have anxiety. I don't know, it's a thing. When I'm sitting waiting for an appointment, or I would bring a book places where it's like, you're meeting up with someone to eat, you're not gonna read. But I'd have a book in my hand just in case there was an ever awkward moment, and then I could just put my face in it. It's fine. Last question, what kind of books do you like to read? I feel like I said this before, but I'm basically an omnivore. Let's go through some of my favorite books so that you guys can get acquainted with the types of books I like to read. Some of my favorites of last year were And the Mountains Echoed by Khaled Hosseini. I also really liked I, Robot by Isaac Asimov, The Archive of Alternate Endings by Lindsey Drager, The New and Improved Romie Futch by Julia Elliott, and Piranesi by Susanna Clark. I also really liked Love Beyond Body, Space and Time, edited by Nicholson. Felon, it's a poetry collection by Reginald Dwayne Betts. Little Eyes by Samanta Schweblin. And for nonfiction, The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. Know My Name by Chanel Miller. And A Mind Spread Out on the Ground by Alicia Elliott. I also really liked Twisted by Emma Dabiri. It's not about the Burqa. I don't remember who that's by. It's a collection of essays. That was a lot of books, but that gives you an idea of the type of stuff I like. So that was the whole tag. That's all I got. Am I relatable? Am I talking to anyone right now? Say hi in the comments below if you want to see all the books that I read. Check me out on Storygraph. And until next time, happy reading.